How come you guys are still liberals and not socialist, communist, or anarchist?
How come we're still liberals, we're not socialist, communist, or anarchist? Do you know what those words all mean? Because I'm not a liberal, I'm a progressive, which is different. You said socialist, communist, or anarchist, those are the choices?
Yeah.
Why are those together? Since they're opposing philosophies. So from our sets, did any of us give off the vibe that we think the government should control the means of production?
I don't know, I heard a lot of Biden support.
You heard a lot of Biden support. Biden! You think Biden is a socialist, communist, or anarchist? You think the most centrist Democratic president in history is a... But you're the one...
I think he's a fascist.
You think he's a fascist? I think...
This is why comedian Steve Hofstetter is one of the best out there, and the mainstream will not cover him for some reason.
I am going to have a aneurysm, Steve. I understand. I like the idea that you think he's both a socialist and a fascist. And an anarchist. I think you just learned the suffix "ist" recently. And let me tell you this, that question was the dumbest. So...
And let me just say, and if you have no idea who this man is...
I have friends who are conservative.
I'm very conservative.
Yeah.
I have a gay daughter.
Great.
My best friend is gay.
Okay.
You know.
So, are you every conservative?
But there's more of us out there than you think. Just because.
No, but do you vote?
Yes.
For who?
I voted for Trump.
That's my point. Hold on a second. Wait.
So who I vote for doesn't make me who I am, but you're judging.
Wait. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm not judging you personally. I am judging some of your decisions, and your decision to vote for a hate-mongering criminal, and to be. Are you proud of your vote for Trump?
But you voted for somebody whom I think is horrible because he was cheating on his wife when she got killed in the car.
This is some of what he does at his shows.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait. Just a moment. Can I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. So, if I am to understand you, you are upset that Joe Biden has been accused of cheating on his wife. And yet... the thing that I truly think is that you are most likely socially progressive. However, I think that you, whether it is because you have decided you don't want to look into it too far, or because you're listening to someone else, you haven't researched the differences in what some parties are voting for, what some parties believe, and so you associate yourself with conservatives despite many of your viewpoints having nothing to do with them. And so what I am making fun of in this set, and this is your original question, is that. If this is important to you, and it sounds important to you, it's important enough for you to raise your hand in front of 200 people and go, this is the thing I'm going to say, that makes it seem important, then please, after this, look it up. Find out what it means. And then see if it's still important to you. And that's how it works. And that's how we all change. That was the point of the set. The idea that the ideals that we were given to by our parents or the people we grew up with aren't necessarily the ideals that we have to keep for the rest of our lives. And compassion is important. But compassion doesn't mean being compassionate for hate. And that's where I draw the line.
I support everyone's identity regardless if it makes sense to me or not. So my question is, dissociative identity disorder, formerly multiple personality disorder, is considered to be just that, a mental disorder. What makes that different from transgender, non-binary people? Specifically non-binary individuals who identify as they, them.
Okay. First of all, they, them can be singular or plural, and the people who argue that it's always plural don't understand basic grammar. What makes it different is the people who spend their lives studying this and are experts on this say that it is different, and I trust them to know more about a subject that I don't know. If you don't trust the entire medical industry to be telling you the truth about that, then you should take your car to a florist the next time it breaks down. Because if you don't trust experts on one thing, why would you trust them on something else? And the fact of the matter is, we need to trust people who have spent their whole adult lives researching something rather than a meme you see once. I didn't understand dissociative disorder until I met someone who had it, because the way that it's portrayed on TV is utterly ridiculous. But I met a fan who had that and had a caretaker with her because she could become dangerous to herself. And I was talking to her and I had stepped away and I came back and she didn't know that I was there yet. I was walking up behind where they were and she was speaking as if she was like a small child. And then when she realized that I was there again, she kind of shook it off and apologized, like, I didn't want you to see that, that's so embarrassing. And I was like, no, I get that this is something that you're fighting. And it was a lot for me to process because it's not something I had ever seen before. And when you see something that you've never seen before, it takes a while for you to understand it. And I think that that's what's happening now. I think that for the first time, there are a lot of people who are seeing a different gender identity than they understand. And so their first reaction is going, no, that's not a thing. And then if it actually is someone in their life and someone they're talking to, then they start to understand a little bit more. I think that what we know as a society right now is very different than what we'll know in 5 years or 10 years or 1 year if they close all the schools. But like, it is something that I don't fault people for having trouble grasping immediately. Every one of us had that moment. Every one of us, anyone who pretends that they got it the second they were told it the first time is lying. Because anything that is different to us, it takes a little bit to process.
And he also broke down how he picks and chooses when he must go on the attack from a heckler or someone who's being transphobic or someone who is fully brainwashed in MAGA, or if they could use it as a learning experience. Take a look.
Every now and then, someone just does show up, especially when I'm in a comedy club instead of a theater or a rock venue, because they're just like, hey, what's there to do today? And if there's one thing we know about that side of the coin, it's that they do not do their own research. So when that happens, I try to be as patient as possible because I try to reach them. Now, if they're being combative, yeah, I'll hit right back.
Sure.
But there's a video that went very, very viral of mine on TikTok. Someone actually, weirdly enough, someone who reshared it got millions of views when mine, because that's how the algorithm works.
100%.
But it's someone asking me about how can I, refer to myself as progressive while being unwilling to talk to the other side of the aisle. And I broke it down very patiently and explained that, like, I have conservative friends. I don't have MAGA friends because conservative is a political and economic ideology. MAGA is a system of ethics. That's different. And so what I did, I was trying to reach this person, but more so, I was trying to give ammo to the other hundreds of people in the room who are going to go home for Thanksgiving and talk to their families.
Yes.
And I look at my social media that way too, is that I'm not going to convince someone that's coming at me swinging, but I would like to try to help give talking points to those who may have relationships with those people, if that makes sense.
If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.